Hello friends, today we will discuss in this session overtaking side distance on a two-lane road. This is extremely important topic because dangerous overtaking, or you can say careless driving, contributes almost 25.7% of road crashes in India. It is important to provide adequate overtaking side distance on a highway, mainly on single carriageway road like intermediate or two-lane roads. And the overtaking becomes dangerous when the driver is not able to judge the gap between its own position and the oncoming vehicle from the opposite direction. So question is, why do we need this overtaking side distance? Overtaking side distance is required because all vehicles do not travel at same speed, which is the design speed of the highway. And this is particularly important on Indian roads where we have mixed nature of traffic and we do not provide any segregation of vehicles on the road. Overtaking is a very complex phenomena. It is performed in the face of oncoming vehicle from opposite direction, and it is the judgment of the distance or the gap between the overtaking vehicle and the opposing vehicle by a driver which matters during overtaking. And therefore, overtaking operation becomes difficult as traffic volume increases on the road. So the distance up to which a driver can see the opposite vehicle becomes very important, and that is how basically we measure the overtaking distance. This is the minimum distance open to the vision of the driver of a vehicle intending to overtake the slow vehicle ahead safely against the traffic in the opposite direction. So that is the distance which a driver can see, and that distance should be long enough to complete overtaking operation safely. There are 5 types of overtakings which are possible. The first is the flying overtaking. When the faster vehicle approaches a slow moving vehicle and there is no vehicle in the opposite direction, then that is called a flying overtaking. Now here this vehicle does not reduce the speed. It continues the normal speed, that is design speed of the road. It overtakes vehicle B, and after completing the overtaking operation it comes back to its original lane and there is no opposing vehicle during this period. So this type of overtaking is possible only when traffic volume on the road is very low. The second type of overtaking is the accelerative overtaking. Now this is the most common type of overtaking, where the vehicle A will meet a slow vehicle B. It will follow this vehicle for a while until he gets a good gap between his own position and the vehicle from the opposite direction. Then it accelerates, moves to the right lane, completes the overtaking, and before the opposing vehicle comes to this position, he moves back to the original lane. That is accelerative overtaking, most common type of overtaking which is observed in field. The third type of overtaking is parallel overtaking. Here there are 3 vehicles A, B and C. C is the leader, B is following C and A is following C. So B vehicle is faster than C and A is faster than B. So B will overtake C, and in the same run A will overtake B and C both. So their positions gets reversed at the end of overtaking. C becomes the follower now and A is the leader. The next is streamlined overtaking. Now here there is a slow vehicle C and this vehicle is overtaken by 3 vehicles A, B and D. So the position of A, B, D does not change after overtaking. D will be the leader, followed by B, followed by A, and C will be behind. That is called streamlined overtaking. And fifth type of overtaking is multiple overtaking, where a fast moving vehicle overtakes number of vehicles on the road B, C and D, and it gets the position of leader after overtaking. So it can overtake two vehicles at a time or three vehicles at a time, depending upon the traffic volume on the road. Now, accelerative overtaking is the most observed type of overtaking on two-lane undivided roads, and therefore overtaking side distance is provided considering only accelerative type of overtaking. The factors which affect the overtaking side distance include speed of overtaking vehicle, overtaken vehicle and opposing vehicle. These are three vehicles in picture. The vehicle being overtaken, vehicle which is overtaking, and a opposing vehicle which is coming in the second lane, opposing lane. Distance between the overtaking and overtaken vehicle, that is the gap between the overtaking and overtaken vehicle, and that depends upon the speed of two vehicles, reaction time of the driver, how much time it takes to react to the gap to start the overtaking process, and that is generally taken as 2 seconds. Then rate of acceleration of the overtaking vehicle. Now this also depends upon the speed of the vehicle at the time of overtaking. We will discuss it in detail. And gradient on the road can also affect overtaking side distance. This point we will discuss a little later. But overtaking side distance is measured along the center of the road, which a driver with his eye level at 1.2 meter above the road surface can see the top of an object which is also 1.2 meter above the road surface. So eye level is also assumed 1.2 meter above the road surface, and object is also assumed to be 1.2 meter high above the road surface. And this distance between these 2 points, which is clearly visible to the driver, is called the overtaking side distance. Now I will present here two cases before you before analyzing the overtaking side distance on a two-lane road. Now here is a vehicle A which is faster than vehicle B. So vehicle B is slow and this vehicle is moving at design speed of the road. Now it intends to overtake B. So initially it will look for a gap in the opposing lane. Then during this the driver will follow vehicle B for a while, and when he finds that there is a long gap between his position and the opposite vehicle, then it will accelerate, move to this lane and then complete the overtaking and then move back to the original lane. And when this shifts to the original lane, the vehicle C in the opposing lane assumes this position. Now the distance between this A and C, that is called X, safety margin. This is a safety margin. Now this safety margin can be something like, you can say 30 meter to 60 meter. But this situation, the second situation is that when this vehicle overtakes vehicle B and merge again in the original lane, this vehicle C assumes this position. That is, at this point the margin is 0. There is no margin, and that situation will require minimum overtaking side distance. And in all analysis we consider this case. What is the minimum requirement of overtaking side distance, so that at the end of the overtaking, when the faster vehicle A goes back to its original lane, the vehicle from opposite direction will assume this position. So X becomes 0. X becomes 0. So overtaking side distance is from this position of the vehicle to this position of the opposing vehicle. Now assumptions in the analysis as suggested in IRC 66 1976 are 5. Number 1, the vehicle being overtaken is traveling at a uniform speed which is 10 miles per hour or 16 km per hour less than the design speed of the road. Now here, what is assumed that overtaking is feasible only when the speed difference between the overtaking vehicle and overtaken vehicle is at least 10 miles per hour, 16 km per hour. So if overtaking vehicle is traveling at design speed, then the slow vehicle should be at least Vd minus 16 km per hour. Number 2, overtaking vehicle follows the overtaken vehicle for a short while to perceive the clear road ahead for safe overtaking before beginning the overtaking movement. Now that is quite logical, that when you perceive a gap in the opposing lane, then you react to the gap and you take some time to react to this gap, whether to start overtaking or to wait for some more time for a larger gap, and that is called reaction time. Reaction time is generally taken as 2 seconds. It is considered to be uniform for all drivers and it is taken as 2 seconds. Number 3 is when the driver of vehicle A, that is fast vehicle, finds sufficient clear gap, it decides within a reaction time to overtake. Fine. Number 4 is that overtaking is done by accelerating rapidly to the design speed, and it is considered to have been completed when the overtaking vehicle returns to its original side of the road. So what is assumed here, that before reaction time, this faster vehicle will start following the slow vehicle, and during this period the speed of the follower and the leader is same, that is speed of slow vehicle. And when the faster vehicle or the follower decides to overtake, then it will accelerate the speed of the highway, that is design speed, and complete the overtaking and then returns to its original site. And fifth assumption is that overtaking is finished in the face of an oncoming vehicle traveling at design speed in such a way that the latter arrives alongside the former just at the completion of the maneuver. So this is what I showed you here, that this vehicle will arrive, opposing vehicle will arrive at this position as soon as this vehicle merges into the original lane. So that means the X is 0, the safety margin is 0, and that will indicate the minimum OSD, minimum overtaking side distance. Now with these 5 assumptions, if you carry out analysis of overtaking side distance, how much distance is required. So this total distance can be divided into 3 parts, D1, D2 and D3. Now D1 is the distance traveled by vehicle A during reaction time, and remember, during this period of reaction time, this vehicle will be traveling at the same speed as that of vehicle B, that is slower vehicle, because it is following. So this will be equal to VB, VB is the speed of the vehicle B, into T, T is the reaction time, which is generally taken 2 seconds. So this will be twice of VB in meters. Now after D1, when it decides to overtake, this vehicle A now will accelerate, shift to the right lane, complete the overtaking, and then goes back to the original lane. Now this distance, total distance, is divided into 3 parts. This total distance is divided into 3 parts. The first part is the distance traveled by this vehicle during shifting from this lane to this lane, and let us call it S. Then it completes the overtaking, that is called B. Okay, and the third part is when it again moves to the original lane, and that is again S. This distance is equal to the same as this distance. So this D2 will be S plus B plus S, or you can say that it is B plus 2S, where S is the minimum distance between the vehicles A and B before overtaking and after overtaking, and it will depend upon the speed of the vehicle VB. Now generally it is assumed that these vehicles will maintain certain distance before resorting to overtaking, and that is safe distance. So generally 6 meter is considered the car length, and in addition to car length there will be some distance which will depend upon the speed. So what IRC suggests that for every 10 meter per second of speed of following vehicle or leader vehicle, because at this point both vehicles are moving at same speed, for every 10 meter per second of speed there will be 7 meter additional gap required. So that is how this equation is taken, that S will be car length, which is 6 meter plus 0.7 into VB, or if you take VB in kilometer per hour, then it will be 6 plus 0.2 VB. So you can say 2 meter for every 10 kilometer per hour. Okay, so additional 2 meter for every 10 kilometer per hour plus car length. So D2 will be, now if you see total distance required from this position to this position, this will be that a vehicle is moving at speed VB, it accelerates at a rate of A, let us say rate of acceleration is A, and then it completes the overtaking and moves back to the original lane, and let us say it takes time T, capital T. So it will be simply applying the equation of motion, that D2 is equal to initial speed VB into T, capital T is the overtaking time, plus half AT square. Now in this equation VB into T is the distance traveled by vehicle B during time T, because this vehicle is also moving at speed VB. So this is the distance VB into T, because it's moving at a constant speed. This is the distance traveled by this vehicle during overtaking time T, and that is B, that is taken as B, and therefore this becomes 2S, that is from this side and from that side. So D2, which is equal to B plus 2S, is given by this equation, and because this is B, so 2S becomes half of AT square, or you can say the total overtaking time is square root of 4 into S upon A. S we calculated as 0.7 VB plus 6, and A is the rate of acceleration in meter per second square, which depends upon the speed. And the third distance D3 is the distance traveled by this opposing vehicle which is moving at design speed in time T, that is the overtaking time. So D3 is taken as V into T. V is the design speed of the highway and T is the overtaking time. So total overtaking distance becomes D1 plus D2 plus D3. That is, D1 is VB into T, small t is reaction time, D2 is VB into T plus 2S, and D3 is V into T. Now this distance is considered when you have two-way traffic on single carriageway. If it is one-way traffic, then D3 is not considered because there is no opposing vehicle, and we consider OSD only plus D1 plus D2. In case of one-way traffic, or you can say on multi-lane highways where more than one lane is provided in one direction, then OSD is not a very critical phenomena. It only D1 plus D2. It only D1 plus D2. D3 will not be considered. Now if VB is not known, a fast moving vehicle, or you can say a vehicle which is moving, which is traveling at design speed of the road, meets a slower vehicle. But what is the speed of slower vehicle? If that is not known, that I told you the necessary condition for overtaking is that the speed difference between the two should be at least 10 miles per hour or 16 km per hour. So you can safely assume that speed of the slower vehicle will be V minus 16. V is the design speed of the road. Reaction time can be taken as 2 seconds, and rate of acceleration A will depend upon the speed of the vehicle, and this is a table given in IRC 66 to find out or to take the value of acceleration based on speed of the overtaking vehicle. Now this distance d1, d2, d3 and total distance will depend upon the speed of overtaking vehicle. d1 changes very little with the speed of overtaking vehicle because it is only during the reaction time, and reaction time is only 2 seconds, and it depends upon Vb. So d2 will change rapidly with speed of overtaking vehicle, and these gray points here indicates d3. d3 is also increasing with speed of overtaking vehicle at the almost same rate as d2, and that is the total distance, total overtaking distance, which will increase with speed of overtaking vehicle. Now effect of gradient, that points come in mind that how overtaking side distance will change when there is a gradient on the road. Now let us consider this case that there is a descending gradient like this. Now on descending gradient it is easy for overtaking vehicle to accelerate, but at the same time overtaken vehicle will also accelerate equally, right? And similarly on ascending gradient it will be difficult for overtaking to accelerate. On ascending gradient the overtaken vehicle will also be slow, and therefore these two will compensate the effect of ascending or descending gradient. And what IRC suggests that no effect of grade should be taken up to rolling gradient in plane and rolling terrain, but if the gradient is steeper then we should consider the effect of gradient on overtaking side distance as well. The minimum overtaking side distance that is given in IRC code depending upon the design speed of the road is given in this table. For overtaking maneuver, time taken by a overtaking vehicle, and for opposing vehicle to reach, and that the total time required to overtake, and that the distance corresponding to 15-second time and speed of 40 km/h. This is the value given in IRC code, IRC 66 and IRC SP 73 for overtaking of a vehicle by passenger car at level gradient. Now when you are not able to provide overtaking, when the overtaking is prohibited because of certain restrictions on the road, because of curvature, or it might be because of restricted width of the road, overtaking prohibited, then we use this sign in location where overtaking is not permissible. And in that case, when overtaking is not permissible for a very long distance, the driver becomes frustrated. They continue to follow the slow vehicle, the queue becomes long. We should provide overtaking zones. Overtaking zones. And overtaking zones are provided. Overtaking zones are marked with wide roads for overtaking operation in the highway when it is not possible to provide overtaking side distance throughout the length. And these are some of the signs. You can have variation of signs also, that overtaking lane 300 meter ahead, or overtaking for 800 yards. This is the sign for overtaking, permissible overtaking. Now this is the marking of overtaking zone. Now we put a mark here before overtaking starts, that is the signpost for overtaking zone ahead. This is the overtaking zone, actually a wider road. This sign is placed 1 OSD before start of the overtaking zone. This distance, total distance of overtaking zone, can be 3 to 5 times overtaking side distance. Minimum is 3 times OSD, but desirable is 5 times OSD. and we put another sign here before the overtaking zone ends, and that is placed at a distance, overtaking side distance, before the end of the overtaking zone, and this sign will read end of overtaking zone. Same is the case for vehicles moving in this direction. Now let us take one example, and I have taken example where you need to calculate overtaking side distance, and also you need to calculate the length of overtaking zone. And this is the example when you design a road, when you plan a road, you will never know what is the speed of the slow vehicle. What we know at design stage is the design speed of the highway, and therefore I have taken this example that determine the minimum length of overtaking zone to be provided on a two-way road having the design speed of 80 km/h. Now the solution, the design data is that design speed is 80 km/h, you can say 22.2 meter per second, and therefore speed of slow vehicle will be 18 minus 16, that is 64 km/h, or you can say 17.8 meter per second. We assume reaction time to be 2 seconds and acceleration at a speed of 64 km/h you can take from the table, and that is 3.28 km/h per second, that is 0.91 meter per second square. Now let us calculate D1. D1 is VB into T. VB is 64 km/h or 17.8 meter per second. T is 2 seconds, that gives you 35 second meter. That gives you 35.6 meter. Now D2 is VB into T plus A half AT square. Now this equation requires estimation of overtaking time, and overtaking time is given by square root of 4s upon A. So before you calculate T, you need to know what is S. S is 0.7 B plus 6. So 0.7 into 17.8 plus 6, that is 18.46 meter is S. By known value of S, you can calculate now the overtaking time T, which is 9 seconds. So with this 9 seconds, we go to this equation again and calculate what is D2. D2 is 17.8 into 9 plus half AT square, and that gives you 197 meter. Now D3 is V into T. V is the design speed. Design speed is 80 km/h, 22.2 meter per second into overtaking time 9 seconds, and that is 200 meter. 200 meter. So the overtaking side distance will be D1 plus D2 plus D3, because it is a two-way road. So 30.56 plus 197 plus 200, that is 433 meter is the overtaking side distance, and minimum length of overtaking zone will be 3 times OSD, that is 1300 meter, but desirable length of overtaking zone will be 5 times OSD, that is 2165 meter. So that is how we calculate OSD and provide overtaking zone at the time of design of highway itself. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you have liked it, please share, and you can write your comments in the comment box.